Welcome or welcome back. I'm Caren, and thanks for joining me for this 20-minute relaxing restorative yoga with breathing exercises class. We'll start with some gentle movement, and then we'll rest in 3 relaxing restorative yoga poses while practicing a few breathing exercises from my book. So we're going to begin just gathering a bolster and a blanket for practice, and sit on your mat with your knees up toward the ceiling, your feet flat and wide apart, and place your hands here on your knees, holding yourself in place. Cow and cat through the spine with our breath will start to move. So as you inhale, pull gently on your hands, push the belly forward, then the heart, then the throat. Then exhale and round in from the head, the upper, middle to lower back, rocking backward on the pelvis, holding on to the knees. Inhale and pull yourself forward, belly, heart, throat. Exhale, round in from the head all the way to the tailbone. Do this 3 more times at a slow, effortless pace. Using just enough effort on your hands so that you can hold yourself here. Feeling every vertebra of the spine start to participate. The next time that you empty yourself into cat, relax as you lift your spine upward, cross the feet, crossing here at the ankles into Sukhasana, and grab your blanket, fold it up so that it's a double square fold. You're going to sit on the edge. So placing that blanket right underneath both of your sitting bones so that you're lifted up from your pelvis and your knees are a little lower than the hips. So if you need more support, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to turn to face you because we're going to make some circles with the torso. Just take note of which shin is in front, which one naturally came in front, and we'll move to the right. So inhale your way forward, lean over to the right, push back as you exhale, rounding the spine over to the left, and inhaling forward again. Moving slow, think about 2 halves of a circle. When you inhale forward, you're making that 1 semicircle forward. And when you exhale backward, that semicircle backward to empty the breath. Let's do 1 more like this, winding yourself around the waist. Lift yourself all the way back up. Switch out your shin cross. Take your hands back to your knees, and we'll go to the left. So inhale your way forward, moving over to the left. Exhale, semicircle backward, and continue. Moving from the waist, rocking back and forth on the hips. Letting the head and the neck be loose. This is the last round here. And let yourself come back up, settling the spine, finding a moment to just breathe in and out and notice what happens when you enter into stillness after movement. We'll move now into our first restorative yoga pose, which is a supine spinal twist. So coming off of the blanket, sit on your left hip and place the blanket at your head while you take the bolster in front of you lengthwise off of the mat, lowering down onto your left hip and your left forearm. Extend the leg that's closest to the floor underneath you, a little bit longer, not all the way straight, and then pull this top leg up to the bolster so that both the knee and the ankle can be supported here. Then lower down the rest of the way, placing the blanket underneath your head for comfort. Take your hand to your waist. Snug that into the waist region. Let the elbows start to drop backward as you open into a gentle twist. You could choose to stay here if this feels more comforting to have your elbow bent, or extend both of your arms into a T position. Let the head rest naturally wherever it feels most comforting. Even though you might feel a sensation of stretch in the upper body, we're looking for moments of ease. Because when the body can feel safe, not pulled or tugged in any one direction, then the mind starts to follow. And everything in the body moves toward harmony and rest. You could choose to close your eyes here if you like. Just let the breath be natural. I'll start to give you longer periods of silence and space as you hold these postures, so that you can pay more attention to what's going on in your body and your mind right now. This practice calls us into presence, becoming aware of how we're feeling, what we're thinking. Because most of the time in our lives, we are very busy and distract ourselves from these two essential things of checking in with how you are really. Unwind from this pose by pulling your arms inward toward center, coming out of the twist. Take the leg that's on the bolster, remove it, and use your hands to press up sideways, nice and slow. And you'll just swing around with your legs. Move the blanket to the other side of the mat. Push the bolster down a little bit farther toward the leg, so you end up on the opposite hip. Leg that's closest to the floor, extend it a bit straight, but not all the way straight. And then, as you lower down onto the shoulder and the head touches the blanket, the top leg supported completely from knee to ankle on the bolster. Take your hand to your waist and just drop the elbow back, opening into the twist gently. If you decide to go the rest of the way, lengthen the arm if you like. Readjust the head so it feels comfortable. And perhaps choose to close the eyes. I'm looking for that space of ease in the body, not deep stretching or pulling, so that you can find harmony again. A sense of balance can arrive when we allow ourselves to be still, because so much of our life is movement. This stillness is so essential, this relaxation, so essential to recharge your inner battery, so to speak, so you can keep going. Bring your arms back in toward your body. Rolling over onto your side, release the knee and ankle from the bolster, stacking the legs. Place your palms into the floor and gently push to rise up. You'll keep the blanket that you had for your head, but just open it up one time or even twice so it's at a thin fold. Turn your bolster widthwise across the mat. So we transition into supported bridge. Sit on top of that bolster and lower down using your forearms to the floor so that your back and shoulders as well as the head lands on the floor. And then you can readjust your weight and stance here on the bolster by bringing the bolster closer in or farther away from your glutes, just so that it feels like you're very steady and stable through the back of your pelvis and your low back. Walk your feet a bit forward so they land underneath the knees. Toes are pointing forward and knees are as wide as your hips. The back of the head rests on the blanket as the arms go into a V with the palms up. Again, choosing to close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Relax all effort in the feet, calves, knees, thighs, and the creases of the hips where the thigh bones meet the pelvis. Here is where we begin our exploration of the breath. Use the count of 5 to inhale and exhale for equal breathing or Vritti. Inhaling to 5, exhaling to 5. And let this be a slow, steady pace that feels safe, comfortable. Encourage those exhalations to really empty so that you feel the navel dropping downward and in toward the back of your body before inhaling again. If it's helpful, you can imagine a circle. The two halves of the circle, breathing in and breathing out, never truly stopping. The breath completely connected. Continue your awareness on equal breathing as we transition into our final pose, basic relaxation. Push the soles of the feet gently down and into the floor. Bring your hands to the bolster. Lift the hips just enough so you can push the bolster forward. Drop the back of the pelvis. Keep pushing the bolster. Extend the legs long. So the bolster is now underneath the backs of the knees and the upper thighs. Legs are long and wide. If you require a little more support for your head here, you can fold the blanket over one more time or just leave it as is. Open the arms back to a V with the palms face up and continue equal breathing. Now transition into lengthening your exhale. Breathing in the same amount as before, and breathing out the same amount, but slowing down that exhalation. You could transition to a count of 4 inhale and 6 or 8 exhale. Inhaling just the same amount, exhaling just the same amount, but changing the pace of the breath. Feel the navel completely drop. The cavity in the abdomen becomes hollow before you inhale. Really focusing gently on emptying all your air, slowly and mindfully, before taking a fresh breath in. Just 2 minutes of this breathing technique has been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode of your body. There's no way to do this wrong or right, just practice. Relaxing judgment, feeling your way into the breath. Now release the breath after your next exhale. And allow the breath to return to a natural pace without control. Notice how you feel. Notice the quality of the mind and the relaxation in the body. As you're ready to awaken, please take your time, making any movements or stretches that you like here. We'll end the practice by pulling the knees in, rolling over onto a side, curling up into a ball. And then slowly pushing yourself up. Come up to a comfortable seat that works for you. And place your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. We honor all the realized beings who have brought the knowledge of yoga to us. And we honor this time we shared together. As you release your hands and open your eyes, coming back into the space, let me know how your practice went. I always love hearing from you in the comments. You can give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already for even more yoga practices like this. You can find lots more restorative yoga videos and classes on my website at CarenBaginski.com. I look forward to relaxing with you again sometime soon.